Shalom, shalom, and boker tov. Good morning. Going to continue with the series based on Egedet, the letter of Ramban, Nachmanides, to his children, to his sons. And in the same way, I'm dedicating these series to my sons, Meor David, Joshua, and David Joseph. Anger is a very powerful instrument. It could be used for good or for bad, but more times it's used for bad. And it's a quality that should be dealt with. Gentle speech will protect you from anger. This is the idea of soothing anger. It says in Proverbs chapter 15, a soft answer turns away wrath, but a distressing word stirs up anger. The Malbim comments on the word Chema, by the way, it comes from the same word of Hamas. Wrath connotes intense inner anger, a deep anger which is concealed from others. It's the idea of af. You breathe anger, you breathe out harshly. However, it implies a more superficial rage, which is quickly expressed and dissipated. While one provocative remark can kindle anger, like a fire, even the most intense fury can be soothed by a gentle word. Even when one cannot help another tangibly by gentle words, can still ease the pain. The Chofetz Chaim advises that if you approach for a charitable donation or a loan and are unable to help, take care not to sow displeasure to the person who has come to you requesting it. Rather, by responding to him in a soft and gentle tone, your words may be able to soothe, even if your deeds cannot. That we find in Chofetz Chaim, Ahavas Chesed, Part 3. The road to self-control in this area of anger is something that must be dealt with on a daily basis. As it says in Kohelet, Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 9, do not be hastily upset, for anger lingers in the bosom of the fools. One cannot conquer anger without wisdom. Wise men throughout the ages have referred to the practical technique to maintain self-control. The Reshit Chachma in Sha'ar Ha'anava chapter 3 advises, set aside a sum of money that you will give away if you allow yourself to be angered. Be sure that the amount you designate is sufficient to force you to think twice before you lose your temper. If someone has enraged you, try to avoid looking him in the eye while your anger is intense. In this way, you will be more easily control your rage. We read also in Proverbs chapter 19, verse 11, it is man's good sense to be slow to anger, and his glory to pass over a transgression. Rabbi Menachem Meiri relates the following story. There was once a righteous king who had but one major fault, and he was angered very easily. To overcome this tendency, he wrote 3 lines on a sheet of paper and appointed one of his servants to show it to him whenever he started to grow angry. First line read, always remember that you are merely a creature, and you yourself are not the creator. Second line read, always remember that you are flesh and blood and will eventually perish. And final line read, always remember that there will be mercy for you in the future only if you have mercy on others. Sefer Hamidot, page 239. A lifetime of struggle. Some people who deal with anger is really a struggle for a lifetime. Attaining self-control requires great discipline, and it would be a mistake to think that a tzaddik is necessarily a natural, mild-mannered person. The Chofetz Chaim, for example, worked constantly to improve his character. He struggled and prayed and reflected, refining his midos until they were sterling. A disciple once hid under the bench in the shul and hoping to observe the Chofetz Chaim, his conduct that night. When at midnight approached, the elderly tzaddik appeared, opened the Holy Ark, and prayed to Hashem to help him overcome his feelings of anger. The world-renowned Rosh Yeshiva, Rav Moshe Feinstein, was known also for his pleasant demeanor. Even in the most provocative of situations, he would avoid an angry response. When a yeshiva student questioned him regarding his serenity, however, he made it clear that the quality was not easily to attain, and even natural to him. It is years that I have worked in perfecting this trait, he said. And shortly after World War II, the Schulsinger brothers published a fine edition of the Talmud. Rav Moshe was among the first to purchase a set of an expensive volume. Once, while using the new volume, he momentarily left the room. He had been using a dip pen in a bottle of ink. While he was away, a student unintentionally knocked over the bottle, spilling the black ink all over the page. As the student stood in shame, the Rosh Yeshiva returned to the room. Upon perceiving what had happened, however, the Rosh Moshe smiled pleasantly, and he assured the student that the Gemara still looked beautiful, and with a comforting glance, he returned to study. In our next video, we're going to be talking about anger as the most serious character flaw which causes one to sin. So stay tuned. We are continuing to study for my sons, Mayor, David, Joshua, and David Joseph. Shalom, shalom, and keep learning, because that creates peace in the world.